It's happy hour from Central City, New Orleans. We're live at Casa Borrega on Aretha Castle, Haley Boulevard, right near Felicity. Casa Borrega is a bar, a restaurant, and also a live music venue where you can come and enjoy incredible food and great music. Hi, my name's Grant Morris. In the next 60 minutes, you're going to meet six of the many thousands of fascinating people who live in New Orleans, and you'll get to hear some live music as well, apparently. Correct, gentlemen?
Sure enough.
Okay. At the end of the show, you might conclude New Orleans is a great city where people love to talk, have fun, and enjoy great music, but you probably know that already, so let's get right on with doing nothing but enjoying the next 60 minutes of happy hour together. My eclectic bunch of guests sitting around the table here at Casa Borrega in no particular order are Carly Colath-Wells. Hello, Carly.
Hello.
Hello. Carly was a 12-year veteran reporter in New York and prior to that, Mississippi, before moving to New Orleans in February of this year, where Carly immediately started gathering other recent arrivals in New Orleans around her website, newinnola.com, which helps new residents find advice and share tips from locals. How's it working out? Are people actually taking advantage of that?
Sometimes, yeah. We're having fun.
Okay, and today's a big day in Carly's life. It's her graduation from being a newcomer to being an insider. Her first day as a staff reporter for NOLA.com, Times-Picayune. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what about that? So you've got a real reporting job.
Got a real job back in the newsroom.
Did you find out anything that's going on inside New Orleans today that we don't know about?
Doing traffic in the morning, weather, traffic. Yes, traffic's
Since
important.
when does the newspaper do traffic?
That's what you want to know in the morning. So I did NOLA.com, so that's going to be the website in the morning.
How do you get the paper out that fast?
In time to get the traffic news. That's kind of what I was wondering. I was wondering the same thing.
Think Twitter, website.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
The future.
yeah.
You get paid to put the traffic on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
let's get back to the minute.
Yeah.
Sitting to my right,
Nimble fingers.
CJ Hunt, and that is the voice of Kyle Williams that you heard there. CJ and Kyle are comedians, actors, and the creators of Sunken City, a web comedy series. Kyle moved here from New York City as well to work in film and production, and CJ moved here from Massachusetts. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that. To co-found the new movement, New Orleans Comedy Theatre. CJ and Kyle met at the new movement and after a period of mutual admiration created Sunken City, a comedy unlike anything we've ever seen in New Orleans, and I actually believe that is true. The show follows the lives of three different couples from different parts of the city and incredibly accurately and savagely skewers them. The Sunken City episode 1 is on the web, and the rest of the series is going into production courtesy of a successful Kickstarter campaign. Congratulations.
Oh,
Thank
thank
That's
you.
exciting.
Thank you, everyone.
And congratulations on an awesome show. It really is funny and pretty brave the way you've just stuck it to
Oh, thanks a lot.
all these
We appreciate
stereotypes. These New Orleans. I can't believe that both of you moved here from somewhere else and you've nailed it so accurately.
Well, we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. We have a great community out of the new movement, and just lots of incredible performers who are part of the show and help us be able to do that.
Did you meet here?
Yes,
did.
we did.
All right.
We did.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Sunken City in a minute.
thanks.
First of all, let me finish the
Awesome.
introductions by introducing you to our band, who are individually John Curry, Michael Lentz, and Patrick Crilly. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Collectively, they're known, strangely enough, as Blind Texas Marlin. Probably the most enigmatic and secretive band in the, if not in the entire world, certainly in New Orleans. Our crack research team were unable to find anything online about you whatsoever, except some videos and some SoundCloud stuff. But there's no biographical information. Is there a secret website somewhere?
I don't know
I
about
don't
it.
think so.
No.
Kind of off the grid.
No, I don't think so.
So you guys, that was the voice of Michael you heard there. Michael, what do you play?
I play the spoons and the skillet and the cap gun. Whatever
Okay.
I want, really.
Okay. And John, what do you play?
I play the guitar and I sing all the songs, and sometimes I play the harmonica.
Okay. And Patrick, you've got a
Yeah, I play trombone.
trombone. I see you came in with a trombone. So, and the only thing I found online was one sentence reference that said Blind Texas Marlin is a solo acoustic blues singer-songwriter. So that's not true. 'Cause
That's not at all true.
that's not true. Then I found something on Wikipedia that
What?
said Blind Willie Johnson
Right.
was born in Marlin, Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
So that's as much as I know about you guys.
You got more than most people. Most people never got as far as Blind Willie Johnson.
Well, that was on Wikipedia. That
Well, I
wasn't-
know, but that's what the name is a reference to him.
It is. Oh, so we do know something about you. Come on, talk right into
Oh,
that
talk
microphone.
right into the
Yeah, that's it. You haven't been drinking much, have you, already?
No, I just woke up.
Oh, you woke up. That's the
I
excuse.
think so.
Okay. So it is. Are you from Marlin, Texas?
No, not at all.
Is anybody from Marlin, Texas? Where are you guys?
No.
Where are you from?
I'm not from anywhere. I moved around my whole life.
Well, I'd love to be able to say that. I'm not from anywhere.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's true. It's actually not that good of a thing to say because people always ask you that question every time you meet them and you have no answer.
I'll give you an answer.
Yeah.
Booty.
All right.
Just say
I'm gonna
that. I'm
start
from.
saying it,
Just say I'm
Booty.
from Booty.
All right.
That works fine. No one really knows where it is, and then you say it's just past the airport.
Fair enough.
So, where were you born
I
though?
was born in Gary, Indiana, but I lived there for maybe a month or two.
Yeah, and you didn't like it. That's the murder
Yeah,
capital.
yeah,
of
it's
the
very
country.
dangerous.
off
I had
the
to
bat.
get out. I was this is too dangerous for me. So I moved here. You know, it's not dangerous at all.
I think we're number one since you moved here. You brought it
Yeah,
with
well,
you.
It's not a coincidence.
What did your parents or whoever brought you up do that they moved you around?
I'm not quite sure.
Never found that out. Never
Yeah,
stuck around
well,
long
I
enough to
have
find.
some people just have jobs and you don't really know what they do. So.
Mike hopped the gravy train pretty early on in his career.
It's ridden it all the way to Casa Borrega.
Yeah,
Definitely.
pleased I am to be here.
Well,
There's
how
a
long?
bathtub full of stuff outside.
How long have you been here in New Orleans?
I've been here for 13 years. This is the only place I chose to move, and I'm not moving again. So,
That's it.
yeah, I'm
13
done.
years
yeah.
is a long time.
Yeah, this is the end of it for me.
And John, where are you from originally?
I was born in Oakland, but military, and I just kind of ran around.
So you
a
drifted
lot.
around too. So you're another drifter.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why you guys don't have any kind of official website or information about you. You're just not used to it.
Well, you know, I don't spend a lot of time on the internet. I got other things to do.
You wouldn't have to spend all that long if one of you could master how to put up a website.
Yeah, I think Patrick knows how to do it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm the guy who recorded the SoundCloud stuff. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have found anything about him.
So you've got some sort of technical ability then.
Yeah, I do live music recording. Well, I do live
Yeah.
music recording and stuff,
For whom?
for bands around town and stuff,
Okay.
different venues.
Oh, that's cool. So you work for yourself, or they hire you to be?
Yeah,
What?
freelancing.
What are you called?
LiveMusicNola.com.
Okay, livemusicnola.com. That's what you do. You're going to travel around and record stuff. So you've got the ability to put up a website. Then you know how to do that. You could go onto WordPress or anything and just put up.
Yeah, well,
Blind
if you go
Texas
to
smile.
LiveMusicNola.com, you'll see my
Patrick
website
is too
skills.
lazy to
It's-
put on shoes,
no.
man.
It looks like,
let alone get a website going.
Man, come on, man! I showed up with a new haircut, and you're still clowning me on the shoes, man.
Yeah, you have a nice haircut, doesn't
You guys got to see this
Yeah.
haircut.
It's
It's
incredible.
terrific.
The shoes and the haircut.
It
bring
really
it
is.
down.
I would-
Imagine you can feel it through the internet.
I didn't see the shoes. We have
This
photos.
dude is
He's not
bringing
wearing
it.
it. It's the problem.
You have no shoes at all?
He
I
does.
don't know if you're
not
allowed
a
in
shoe.
here with
like
no
out,
shoes.
out of the band dress code right now, apparently, or something. I don't know.
It's just 2 tin buckets, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta wear shoes, man.
Well, how did you three unlikely guys meet each other? Because, you know.
I used to have this rap group. I still have this rap group. I just had this rap group, and we needed a trombone player. And my friend, who wasn't going to play, told me that Patrick could play trombone.
Mm-hmm.
So Patrick came and played trombone. That's how I know him.
What's the name of your rap
I
group?
was White Collar Crimes. We rap about working for the man.
Yeah.
Are you
man.
the singer? Are you the rapper?
Yeah, there's 3 rappers and then a singer.
Do you want,
singer.
do you want
Did
to
y'all
do
do-
it? Come on.
Did y'all do Andre Fest?
We did
Hell
do
yeah.
Yeah,
it.
man. I love Steins.
I love
Carly, you should do a thing on
I work
Steins.
at Steins every Wednesday.
Oh,
You
shit.
Yeah. I make the sandwiches hot.
That's where I know you.
Can we just talk for hours about Steins now?
Go ahead.
God, the
But-
Sam.
But yeah, I'm
gonna do-
all about the Sam. Do you got a favorite sandwich?
I make up my own sandwich all the time.
All right.
I make up my own sandwich. I'm trying to talk into the microphone.
Yeah, that
Sorry to
sounds
repeat
great.
everything. I make up my own sandwiches every day.
Cool.
But
Well, my only
So
point.
what's your
Also-
favorite combo that you're making up?
I
every day?
invented a sandwich I like to call the Cobalt. It's like a BLT, but I've added a C and an O and an A, which are cheddar, onion, and avocado. And you put it all on rye bread, and it's pretty delicious.
It's good.
Oh, man.
They also have a fantastic beer room.
That's
true.
Beer room.
Ooh.
I designed the thing on top of that beer cooler.
Sweet.
It says adults only. Beer, beer,
Oh.
beer.
Oh, cool.
I
Yeah,
recall it now.
but I remember seeing you guys' name on the first Andre Fest poster, the tie-dye one.
Yeah, we've played at every single Andre Fest.
Yeah, it's super cool, man.
So for the newbie over here, what's Andre Fest?
Andre Fest is like the coolest party of the whole year because it's totally free, and it's like you just go to the NOLA Brewery and you get to drink all the free beer you want and eat all the free crawfish you want and hear a bunch of free live music and eat a bunch of free other food that people make, and it's totally free, and there's birthday cake.
Oh, birthday cake.
And free
And
tasty
you know birthday
cakes.
cake don't come free.
And you get to make this little like Asian kid feel really awkward
Yeah,
but
he's
happy
actually
all at the
30,
same
you
time.
know?
but still,
Yeah.
if you never know to look at him.
Yeah, there's the guy who works the register at Stein's. He's just this like wonderful dude who looks like real ageless. His name is Andre, and his face has kind of become like the signature of Stein's, so it's like kind of devoted to him or just named after
Yeah,
him.
it's his birthday party.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Stein's forced
And-
this really extravagant birthday party on Andre for a few years now.
Probably
When
could've
is the
bought a
next
house
one?
Instead of throwing those parties, but
Yeah. When's
You
his
did that
birthday?
It's in May. It's around May 20th. I don't know the exact date. It's always around then somewhere.
So do you write the songs then for the White Collar Crimes band?
Yeah, it's kind of a collaboration. Everybody pitches in.
Do you battle?
No, we only really
They
like
hug
we
more-
we,
more
we
than
fight the man. We don't fight one another. You know?
Right.
It's
Good
unity,
message.
You know?
So John, how did you get to start this band? You're the principal singer.
Oh, I've been doing this by myself for a while, and I was in some other bands.
Well,
And
so this was true. You are a solo acoustic folk blues.
No, I don't know about the folk blues thing.
What
I play an
what's
acoustic
gen-
guitar.
Okay, what genre would you call it?
I don't know. I just like hillbilly music, I guess. You know.
You want to take a listen to Sam?
Yeah.
What do you say? You want to play a song?
Yeah. All right.
Well, I don't want to talk you into
Not
it.
at
You
all.
don't have
not at all,
to.
Not at all, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
It'll
let's
take
take
me
a listen.
about 30 seconds. to
Okay,
say
well,
that.
we'll talk about something else very briefly in the meantime.
I want to see the spoons. Are there
Get some
spoons in
tequila.
this song?
Spoons are in any song you want.
Spoons
Okay.
and a skillet.
I want
too?
the skillet.
Yeah, a skillet.
One that has spoons on it.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody
I
play
imagine
a
it's like
skillet.
an old cartoon.
I
You just
imagine-
whack each other with a skillet.
Carly, how'd you get the job at the Times-Picayune? Did you have like a lengthy application process,
Yes.
or can
yes.
anyone just work there now?
No, you gotta apply.
You do.
Yeah. It
And what
took
do they
a few
want?
months.
What they need to know? What did you do in New York before you came?
I was a web editor. So I was
Where?
for Retailing Today and Drugstore News.
Ooh, drugstore
very
news.
sexy.
The Dwayne Reeds are taking over New
Yes.
York City, everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This just in, generics.
Yeah. So.
Oh, they're tuning up.
So what did they
Oh, no,
hire
it's
you
okay.
to do
We
at
can
the
talk over it.
Times-Picayune?
So anything from 5:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. So
that's
I'm,
your- so
I'm
you're
updating
on.
the website.
So you're there as a web editor
Yeah,
as well.
I'm there doing web, any crime that happens overnight. The water main that was broken in Carrollton.
Is that
was
better?
me on NOLA.com.
Is that better?
It's getting better. It's not fixed yet.
It's
but
not.
We're hoping it's going to get better soon.
Hang on a second. I thought when you were a reporter for a newspaper, I could be completely wrong about this, but I thought you got out there and you chased stories around, then you came back and wrote it up.
Well, she's been swimming in the sewers, I hear.
But what
No,
do you do?
they're-
But
they-
you don't do that. You just
There are
sit at a-
different types of reporters.
We heard
So-
from your website. The website says that you're the April O'Neil
Yeah.
of New Orleans.
And with
No.
what's happening in the
Ninja
sewer
Turtles,
system right
right?
now, and the
y'all
and the water.
Y'all can't see this. She is wearing a full body yellow jumpsuit.
She's got a sexy little red bob, and
my Ninja Turtle is outside in the sewer.
Yeah, they
Right.
look disgusting. They look
they're
nothing like the cartoon.
they're really excited about the whole boiling water, you know, but they're not because their friends may be in that water.
I got to go pick up a pizza for him afterward.
Oh, man.
It's going to be great.
Oh,
Yeah. That
Full circle.
Michelangelo.
Full circle.
He's really hungry.
Oh man,
We're looking like we're getting close over here with the band. The spoons are out.
Ooh, the spoons.
No, the guitars.
I see 'em.
No, it looks like John put the guitar. He's going to get
Oh.
some tequila. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Total
so,
band thing.
So
to do.
you sit there at your desk.
Yes, and I make phone calls. So it's a different type of reporting. I mean, today's my first day. I don't
So
really.
tell us about your first day. What time did you have to get to work?
6 a.m.
6 a.m..
Because my badge wasn't working yet. So, but my badge works now. So I will be there tomorrow at 5:30 a.m.
Oh,
So before
not
most
at all
people
good.
are waking up in New Orleans, I
What
am
time
up
do
and
you
in the
have
office.
to? What time do you have to get up out of bed? 4 a.m.
I go to bed
Okay.
at 8,
Oh my
which is
Lord.
killing my social life.
it's
but
like
it's
you're
gonna be fun.
it's like you're a kid again.
Yeah.
Are you
yeah.
kidding? Bring it on, Grandma. Join us.
Isn't it?
Brunch is my happy hour.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's still light at 8 o'clock.
You
Yep.
can't, you can't
At night,
enjoy
I
a
mean.
nice white wine on your porch around 7?
I'm doing that about 4. So
Right.
4 is when the wine
Good for
goes
you,
out.
What time do you get
Happy
home?
hours are really wonderful.
What time do you get home from work?
10:30.
A.m.
10:30 a.m. I am done with
Whoa.
work.
Gosh, and then you can take a little cat nap, and
Yeah,
then, you know.
yeah, and do whatever I
sounds
want for the rest
ideal
of the
to
day.
me.
Yeah. So happy hours that start at 3, 4, food, brunch specials. It's a good gig.
Oh man.
Pretty interesting idea, actually. It's kind
Are
of
you
like
guys
doing
taking
morning
on
radio.
interns?
It's my first day.
I'm down.
I don't know. But
Have
yeah,
you-
it's fun.
Have you been a writer as well, Kai?
Oh, no. I just like the schedule.
Well,
you
like
guys are
you don't want to go to bed at 8 o'clock at night, though,
I already do.
do you?
Oh, of course.
Kyle, for those of you who don't know her, is like a grandmother
Inside
in
of a
20-something-year-old.
body. Yeah.
Was that right? You go to bed at 8. I don't really believe that, but it would be
No,
funny
but
to
your
think.
All right.
Shows are at
Sometimes
night.
9.
Yeah, how do you do your shows? Because they're at night.
Yeah, your
Take a
show
nap
starts at
before.
10:30,
I
right?
know. Sometimes it's just kind of like I send the sleeping me. You know, it's just it's a close-eyed, really upset Kyle. Oh,
No way. Improv, you guys have got to be on your game. You can't be sleeper during that.
This is
I'm
why
not-
I
I'm
can't.
not gonna
I don't
buy
believe
that.
any of it. It's
No,
once
I
you
don't
say
buy
you're
that.
an improv actor and you're live on a show, oh, that's just the blender or something. I wouldn't worry about that.
Ooh.
That's nothing. Are you ready to go, John?
the rat
Sure,
just
why not?
got.
You had some tequila.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I think you might need to come a little closer. I don't
Oh,
know.
there's the skillet. I see it.
So what are you guys going to play?
We're gonna play a song called "Bad Time." It's like a country song. Fuck, man. Will you get me out of here? I'm gonna leave. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm having a bad time. Well, I, like the elephants, will scatter the bones of my relatives, inside feeling nothing quite sublime. And the alphabet's Cambodian, the cage is built from its Indians, like all books here are built, but now with spines. The tragedy of this confidence, the footsteps and where they might have went, is no one here will document this crime. And a kind candy cigarette appalls his place before the butt. His eyes close before he speaks, and then he sighs. This won't calm me down. Am I warning myself to hold out, or will I drown? Well, the mayor and his outfit running around, cars without it, though I'm pretty sure he's screaming out loud. As parking lots now plant the seeds, the details grow from between the trees. The secrets of this protein will survive. With lots of filth and whole wheat bread returning to the stable again. This time now crawling inside of their wives. And a common point of interest as volumes climb upon the bus, all moving miles well behind. The pile up of toy dump trucks, your ankles from your eyelids cut, leaving all these secrets hard to find. It won't calm me down. Am I warning myself to hold out, or will I drown? Well, the mayor and his outfit's running around, his cars without it, though I'm pretty sure he is screaming out loud.
blind text a smile. Okay, I was surprised by that. Were you guys surprised? I'm pretty
Yeah,
deaf.
that was great.
I'm pretty deaf.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
I was surprised how powerful and
The tequila worked.
man alive.
You woke up real fast. Real fast.
Oh, I've been awake for hours.
Where do you guys play?
We play at the Circle Bar every Sunday, and then around town in various locations. We might play an abandoned building that my friend built inside of a warehouse. Pretty cool.
Where's that?
Over by St. Ferdinand and like North Robertson.
Just a sort of a random gig somewhere.
Oh yeah, well my friend's building this crazy installation.
And we're available for weddings also. Weddings.
Okay.
I can actually legally marry you, so.
So that's 2 for 1.
Really, you're a celebrant, Michael?
Excuse me?
You're a celebrant?
I guess so. That's what you wanna
I thought.
call it.
Well, I think that's a technical term.
Yeah.
How did you get that ability?
Via the internet.
Oh,
nice.
man.
So you have been there.
Yeah, I have used the internet before. Yeah.
I'm immediately jealous. That's a good, just general thing to have in your tool belt.
Yeah.
You could do that, CJ. You could get on the internet and do that. Apparently.
Do that.
You
You
just
guys
have
could
this.
meet up
You just
later?
have the skill and the ability now to just officially marry people.
Yeah, you can go to this website and you tell them you want to be a minister, and then they send you a piece of paper, and then you take that piece of
Ah,
paper
the work
down
of
to the
God.
office in Benson Towers, and you tell them you intend to marry people, and then they.
I intend.
Yes.
Want that?
And then you can marry people.
Have you married people yet?
I've married 6 people,
Wow.
3 couples. One of them is already divorced.
Okay.
It does not bode well for your record.
I got
also a
I got a
lawyer, though.
66% success rate,
Hey,
which
man.
is better than the national average.
You gotta keep
Absolutely.
moving.
Yeah.
You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep that rate up and marry
Past the
more
bar, though,
people.
you can be a divorce
CJ,
attorney
I
as
feel like
well.
you'd just start marrying random objects.
That's what I would do. I would just stand on the street, be like, "Boom, married." Just a stranger.
Well, maybe I'll start selling weddings, and then I'll sell like a 50% off divorce that's good for like 3 years, but you got to pay me now. The statistics are in your favor. And then if you don't get divorced, you can use that credit towards your full price divorce.
You
later.
get
I'm in.
scratch and skiff wedding certificates.
This is
it
what
out.
it smells like.
Check it out. I'm about to blow. I'm about to blow everyone's
Oh,
mind.
y'all, I'm celebrating my year anniversary tomorrow. So this is sad. This is very sad.
Oh.
What's sad,
Yes.
man?
Oh, this divorce. It's like, no.
Do you want to renew your
If you get
vows?
divorced, it just means you get
Oh,
to
that
get
could be
married
fun.
again.
Because we could do it right here.
It's beautiful.
We have an officiant. No, a celebrant? What are you called?
I call myself an officiator. I think that's what the state
Officiator.
of Louisiana calls it, but or an officiant or something like that.
Or marriage.
Do you
guy.
get to wear something cool when you do this?
I wear whatever someone pays me to wear to marry them. Yeah.
You wear anything?
Oh,
Mike
man,
often
you'd be wearing a
wears whatever
dinosaur
people pay
costume
him
at
to
my
wear.
wedding.
I would want you to dress as a wizard, and then just to point a small crooked wooden stick at me and my bride and just go, "Married."
If you find that girl who's down with that, man, I say go for it.
Well, now there's all this pressure for me to find one because I know an officiant now. I'm like, who do I know?
Hey, Michael, how much do you charge?
Not really any money. I usually marry my friends.
So it's free as well.
Well, it depends. Like, if I met a stranger and they wanted me to marry them, I might try to get something out of it. At least some drinks.
Before the marriage.
So you're just doing it because you're just so nice and you like to bring people together, your friends.
I'm not really that into marriage, but like, my friends,
Well, nor a Catholic priest, but
I
they
was
marry
going
people.
I was going to marry my sister a long time ago, and that's why I ended
You
up
don't
doing
mean
it
that in the
first.
way that came
I
out.
was
I see.
going to,
In the
I was
way
going
that I
to
meant.
officiate her wedding.
Right. You're not from Mississippi. Let's just
Guys, let's
Oh,
keep,
he caught you. He
keep
caught
open
you.
minds. Let's keep open
I didn't
minds. We
say
don't
the
know
word
everyone's-
Mississippi. Carly's from Mississippi.
Yes.
You
yes.
didn't.
And we don't marry our siblings.
You
in
don't.
Mississippi.
That's
no.
just
Sure
a
you
horrible.
do.
No, I
Cousins?
married someone not related to me in any way.
Not
That
a
you know
cousin,
of.
nothing.
Not a cousin, no.
Where-
You
no.
still have relations, or
It is a human being.
I have relatives.
all right.
Relations. I don't know. Is relations like in Mississippi? Relations would be slang for like sexy
Sex.
time.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean
You
does
don't,
she?
have to, you don't have to marry your sister to have sexy time with your sister. No.
That is the
Are you an aficionado on that as well?
that for the listeners. That is a slogan on a T-shirt that he's wearing right now.
Did any of your family marry each other,
The
Carl?
motto
Or
of
just
marriage business.
nobody in your family's married
no,
a
but
cousin.
my parents today, 33 years.
Today?
Today
Your
is their
parents
anniversary.
got married today, and you got married the day after.
Well,
a
we were
different
we were supposed
33
to
years.
get married in October, and my husband and I eloped, and we decided, hey, let's just do it. Yeah. So we got married in the Elvis Presley Chapel in Tupelo.
Oh, cool.
So
Wow.
yeah.
And Albert, are
You
you
get-
from? You worked in Tupelo.
I worked in
Mississippi,
Tupelo. I
see.
was a reporter who went out on the street in Tupelo.
You're an actual. Well, I mean, there's a lot of news in Tupelo. What's the
Yeah,
big story in
yeah.
Tupelo?
Elvis is born in Tupelo.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's not. Is he still alive?
I don't know. He's allegedly gone on.
Right, but if there was, what's the big story? What happens in Tupelo? I've never been to Tupelo.
Oh,
You guys been
Tupelo's
to Tupelo?
great.
Juleps.
Oh.
Juleps happen in Tupelo.
We have fried tomatoes and fried pickles, and we have we make Corollas in Tupelo.
Toyota
Toyota
The Toyota
Corollas.
Corolla comes
Yeah.
from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Yep, and furniture. We make a lot of furniture. That lazy boy you have, made in Tupelo. Yeah.
Tupelo
It's a
is
good
big
place.
enough. It's big enough to have a Toyota plant and the Lazy Boy plant.
It's the region, Northeast Mississippi.
Okay.
So, not with all the
I
the
thought it was a
confines.
tiny little town, so that's what it was a pretty good place to hang out. And that's
there-
where you met your husband.
That's where I met my husband. Yeah. There are 100,000 people in the metro area in Northeast Mississippi. But
Okay.
actually living in Tupelo, it's 34,000. So,
Okay. And
yeah.
what made you move here? Because it wasn't for a job, apparently.
No. My husband got a job. So
What does he do?
He works for Susco Solutions. He's a web developer, and a recruiter found his resume on LinkedIn, his old resume.
LinkedIn works.
Yeah,
are you guys,
LinkedIn works.
Are you guys on LinkedIn?
They don't have a website.
I wish you could see that look on their faces when I said that. Do you know what it is? You do.
Occasionally, someone that I know will invite me to join LinkedIn, and I don't know what it means.
Yeah, you mean everyone you know. I'm not on it, but everyone
Yeah.
I know invites me to LinkedIn.
Are you on
no
it?
idea what the hell it is.
Ki-
It's
only
kind
be-
of like J-Date.
yeah,
the
only
hell
be-
I have no idea
It's
what
like
that is.
Facebook for
That's
work.
Huh?
No, but
Do you do Facebook?
No.
Oh man.
I
Instagram?
have a Facebook.
No,
My
Instagram,
phone flips
Twitter.
open, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, that works.
what have you been doing today?
I made some deliveries around town. I gotta go work on a mural later.
So you're an artist. You're a painter.
Yeah, I paint some stuff.
You did the sign at Steins. We know that. What else have we seen around town that you've done?
Oh, I'm not really gonna divulge any of that information so much.
Is that classified info?
Oh wait,
some
do you
reason?
tag?
No.
Okay, you don't want to tell us. That's fine.
So with like street art murals or
Don't.
Like, I
he
talked
doesn't
to-
want to say for
That's
some.
part of the
Was it-
secret.
really
of
bad?
things.
It's
so
personal.
like Ashley, do you know like Ashley Arsenault? She does small chalk and she does like the chalkboard menus like a Dat Dog.
No.
That's a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, right. Isn't that cool?
Somebody
So-
gets paid to do the
Yeah.
chalkboard.
Yeah,
Detailed
like
work.
she's the artist at Whole Foods. So, like they pay her to do all the chalkboard signs there. And
Who
yeah.
knew that was a job?
No, I painted the front of Mid City Pizza to
Oh,
look like
cool.
a giant pizza.
That's
yeah.
cool. Okay,
did
that's
that.
cool.
Pizza is the finest form of art.
That's
I did
awesome.
the mural in the back of Bay Rouge, this restaurant on Magazine Street. That
Cool.
That's where Micah McKee works. Do you know him? He's a
yeah,
great singer
I
too.
play with him every Sunday.
I was gonna.
Sweet.
He's at Circle Bar 2 on Sundays.
They've got tasty food.
Mm-hmm.
That's a talented bunch of people they've got with at Bay Rouge. Why are you guys all at Bay Rouge?
My friend Kimball owns that place, and I don't know. He had a wall and asked me if I wanted to paint on it, so I did.
Good.
I have a
Good
question.
job.
Do you know people who tag in the city?
No.
Does anyone know who Gay for Pay is?
Oh, the guy around Bywater.
seeing
the
it
person.
everywhere.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
it Bywater?
Patrick is gay.
Bywater and Mary?
I've seen this everywhere.
Yeah.
You've
It's
seen it everywhere.
it's
I
on
think it's
a,
a female. I think the letters look like the. No.
it's in pink, so I think that's to throw you.
Well, also just like the bubbliness of the letters and like the. I don't know.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
exactly
it's-
is Gay for Pay? It's like a tag. It's a
It's a
Things
tag
like
with a
spray can tag.
bullhorn.
It's showing up.
Like,
It's
blocked
it's
with
actually
highlighter.
it's on a dumpster right on my block.
My
Kinda makes
theory
me-
is that someone, I think Gay for Pay is multiple people. I think someone started it, and then probably everyone else is like, oh.
I'm gonna
I
do
am
that
also
too.
gay for pay.
Like if you head down to
Yeah, I'm
Bacchanal,
bi
it's
for
all
bi.
along the way. Oh, you'll see it on the side of buildings,
Right.
on the dumpsters, all in that area.
It's the pizza movement.
What about Think That You Might Be Wrong? Have you seen that one?
Those are sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to the guy who did that one.
Who does that?
He's unnamed, but he's the street art cartel on Instagram.
Street Art
I
Cartel.
also
Yes.
like You Go Girl. You guys know You Go Girl? That's
that
one.
Yeah, positive message for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
kids.
yeah. I'll see that sometimes, and I'm like, I will. You know?
The Think That You Might Be Wrong guy,
Yeah.
he does the Strange Things Happen Below Sea Level as well. Y'all seen that? Strange
No, I haven't
things
seen that one.
happen below
Have you
sea
seen that
level?
one?
No.
But I think
Okay.
But think that you might be wrong is the key to the key to everything, isn't it? I mean, if everybody would just agree to that, we'd all get along, wouldn't we?
Peace.
You mean?
World
You know what I
peace.
mean?
I like that.
If you just think that you might be wrong and accept that,
I like that.
But I'm not.
that's
Sometimes you're
right.
right, and you have to know it, and you have to be like, I'm right.
That's when we all
But
come
if
unstuck,
you think that
though.
you might be wrong, then maybe you're wrong that you're thinking you might be wrong, and you just get sucked into this paradigm.
You might be.
You might get
might in a circle.
Have you ever talked to someone like that, and you're doing the same thing, and then you're like, well, I'm not sure, but like maybe, and they're like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I'm not trying to like tie you and say anything. You know, it's just the conversation goes nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
I'm with that. I think there should
Someone
be more.
has to like make a real opinion from time to time and like stand behind it. Otherwise,
Stand for their
yeah,
beliefs sometimes.
conversations go nowhere otherwise.
I like.
Fight the man. Right?
I think there needs
Fight
to be
the man.
more. I think there needs to be more stuff like that in the city. You know, like little projects that are just randomly about joy and just about like putting a message out there that people sort of interact with. Like there are these things I haven't seen them directly, but like real cool projects that happen. Like there was a wall, right, of like all the things you should do before you die, and you could like write on it. And there was like
How big is it?
I don't know.
It's not big enough.
Oh, have y'all
How
seen
many
the was it the Houdat wall down across from Rouse's on Chop, or the Saints wall? No, it looks like it was a graffiti wall that's been painted over that people write on it.
How come none of us have seen that either?
I don't know.
no.
That's
I-
weird.
I didn't know what that one was.
I haven't seen
But
that.
it could be things you should do before you die.
Yeah, there should just be more like cool things that make people look up and be like, oh, cool. I'm glad I live here. You know.
What made you, if you have that philosophy, what made you write and produce a show that's ripping down all these stereotypes?
Well, actually, it's funny that you say like ripping down because I mean that happens like anytime you like involve satire in anything. But for us, like the thing that's really exciting is being able to like, for us, it's kind of like a love letter to the city of. That's how you celebrate things when you think about like the people that you love and like sitting around with a good group of friends. Like kind of how you celebrate them is like through humor and through laughing. So part of the show is like what are the things that we like really like about New Orleans, and let's be able to celebrate that with what we're good at. Probably one of the only things I'm good at, which is
I'm good at lots of things.
well, I'm good at
Sleeping.
nothing. But Kyle and I both know each other, and we
But
do.
then again, I'm never wrong.
No, you think you should might
Think that you might be right.
should think that you might be. But Kyle and I, what we do is we do characters. So we started talking.
And that's how we met each other, is both of us saw each other perform at the New Movement. And one thing that stuck out, I mean, especially for me watching CJ, was that his range was in his characters, just the most wild, ridiculous voices, and his whole body would change. And I was like, oh, that's what I do. I'm that weirdo monster as well.
Yeah, and Kyle plays like a monster every time like she gets on stage. So we were
Yeah.
kind of like, hey, I have a comic crush on you. And then we
I'm
decided.
like, oh, cool.
So we decided to make a show. We didn't know what it was going to be about, but we knew it should be about characters. We started talking about the characters that we like a lot, like, who have you seen? And I'm like, oh man, my little brother was in town. I just went on this vampire tour, and this dude was insane. He had like the longest hair and talked like this, and everything was about mystery. And she's like, oh, well, here's some characters I see. And then we're like, oh, actually, instead of trying to make some generic show
Or
that's
just
comedy for
a
the
lot
country,
of sketches.
like
or
let's make a show about things that we like in New Orleans and the characters that are here because you
Because
look,
there's no other place like here. I mean, you walk down the street and there's a dude in a banana costume talking to a pussyfooter, and you that's just the regular way of life.
or like
and
there's a dude in my
I
community
saw a woman get
who
her purse snatched one time, and then she immediately vomited after it happened.
oh man if
that's going in the show.
timing is everything. If she had just done that like a couple seconds earlier, that's an effective defense.
Yeah, that's right.
Totally. But I would have missed it.
There's this dude. Have you guys seen this guy? There's this guy who lives near me who's always walking around and he's permanently tinted red because he paints himself red to be the devil down in Jackson Square every day. But like when you see, and like in New Orleans, we see these people walking around. We see like the Silver Man going in to like get a 40, and it's like, who are these people?
That dude's on
And what is-
TV, man.
Yeah, like what are their lives like when they stop doing their thing? So when we're doing our characters like Warlock, who's this like who's like the fourth best vampire tour guide in the city, and he's trying to be the first. Part of our interest is like, who is that dude when he goes home and like takes off the makeup?
and sits down with his wife and they, do the books or.
What's really funny about this show, though, is that it's not affectionate toward these characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not affectionate. It's savage.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's why it's so great. Because you're watching this and you go, wow. Okay, that was cool. It's taking these characters who we've seen, like the two kids who have got this idea, the entrepreneurs from Launchpad,
Mm-hmm.
and just completely making them out to be total douchebags.
Well, that's our thing, right? Like that's our thing.
It's
Like,
funny.
Have you guys watched The Office?
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing, like why we love that, why that character of Michael Scott, the boss, is so cool, is because you are like, you are such an idiot, you are such a terrible person, yet there is something lovable about him, right? Like if he was an idiot and just shitty all the time, we would not want to watch it. But there's something in the writing that you're like, oh right, you're a human dude.
He still wants what's good for those around him.
Yeah, but that's a sort
just
of
the way
a
he gets
that's
there.
a sort of a stock character in a sense. It's on TV. That's pretty ordinary sort of a guy that you can make fun of. It's just done in an interesting way.
Mm-hmm.
But the British version of The Office is much more vicious and horrific.
Oh, I
That show
agree.
is awesome.
Yeah.
And so is your stuff is much more vicious.
Yeah, I definitely think that we have like a no holds bar kind of attitude towards our characters because I think that you have to kind of have that ruthless attitude. I mean, I have that. You have to have that as an actor as well. It's just like I'm not afraid to be ugly and weird. And if you don't do that, that's when I think like you sacrifice what's funny for the art.
That's the difference between like great satire that we remember and then like something that was just like a network sitcom that like
Well, that's what I'm
everybody
saying.
loves Dan, and it's like
Yeah, we
when
want
was
to
that
push
on?
it just a little bit farther.
Right now, dude.
Yeah,
Syndicated.
everyone loves Dan. You guys.
Everyone loves Dan.
No, I'm
What
just
about
I'm just talking about.
and what
generic
about the other
sitcoms,
character in your thing, which is the guy who thinks he's going to be King of Rex?
Oh yeah,
But he
yeah.
doesn't seem to know he's
Beauregard.
black or something or whatever he is.
Or is he black?
I don't know. That's the thing. What is he?
That's what I.
That's what's so funny because
I mean, he's played by me, Kyle, and I. For anyone who hasn't seen the show,
We play all three of the main couples.
yeah, we play three couples in New Orleans who are trying to become great, who are trying to find something extraordinary to do in New Orleans. But because I'm black and Filipino, most people have no idea what I am racially.
So we're
which
like,
gives
let's
us-
use that.
Yeah, people will start speaking Spanish to me, and I don't know how to speak it, and then they'll assume that I do know how to speak it, and I'm just being elitist. Or like people like show like basically all the different racisms like I get because people assume that I'm that. But with that character in particular, we like that sort of tension about like, is this dude black?
he could be Indian, he could be black.
Is he Indian?
He's not a white guy
Or-
from Uptown who's going to be King of Rex.
Or is he
Just really tan.
Or is he just a super tan, handsome white dude?
But it looks like he's got a lot of money, and he thinks he's going to be King of Rex.
Right. Which
And
is
the other
another-
guy, who's played by Joseph Meissner,
Mm-hmm.
is saying like, "Dude, you're not going to be King of Rex.
Well,
no, you're not."
Well, we all know someone who's like, you guys, this is the year I'm gonna be on America's Got Talent, and you're like, what do you do? And they're like, paper planes, and they're like, I'm gonna make it this year. We all know someone with sort of like a tragic dream,
Well,
and
it's
that's
like
what
delusions of grandeur.
that's what we like about these characters.
But the problem is nobody's ever really told them no.
And in all of these situations, no one tells these characters like, hey, maybe you should have a plan B.
Yeah.
And we like
It's
that-
always like riding straight into the sunset and just being blinded by it.
That's what's attractive about people like who are like that, especially on television or in the movies. But they have no they have no governor and there's no reality.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas
Yeah.
most of us in our real lives go, "Oh, I could never do that."
But I think
Oh, I
the
could never
other
be.
characters in Sunken City kind of play that reality. They kind of like are like trying to bring them back down to earth in some way, shape, or form, and kind of set this like level of like, well, maybe, but nobody really.
Okay. What?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm distracted
Yeah,
because
I'm
he's
distracted. I've
drinking
never
his
seen a
beer
guy.
with
I've never seen a guy
spoon.
drink beer out of a spoon.
I've never
before.
done that before either. It doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
That was a nice thing. That's your spoons that you use for a musical instrument. It's kind of like baptizing it with
Yeah, I suppose
with a
so.
Corona.
Yeah, the finest of beers, really.
You like Corona?
No, not really. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Whoever's buying this beer.
Fucking Patrick mooched him.
So anyway, back to Sunken City for a minute. So what goes on now? You raise the money based on the first one to make a whole series of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we decided when we were doing the Kickstarter that we were going to, rather than just create a video saying, like, we've got this idea, we put a group of people together, and guess what? We're going to make a series with your money.
Here's more
We-
about the idea.
Yeah.
There's
we
gonna
wanted
be an
to,
idea, you guys.
We wanted to actually make the pilot and say, hey, watch the pilot. If you like it, please help us.
I'm interested in what you guys think about this. I mean, all of us, because you're a writer. Like, for us, web video is real exciting, right? Like, for you guys, part of the magic, I imagine, is the idea that people can only or mainly access you through going to Circle Bar or through your live shows. But for us, it's like comedy feels a little bit different, and the internet for us is like the quickest way to know if a thing works or if it's funny, like rather than just writing a whole show, filming it, chasing a network. Like, you put a pilot out on the internet, the views and the comments for us will tell us what's good about it, what people want more out of it.
Yeah, but
do
does
you guys
just
find that
because
with
you
your
have
music?
like low numbers, like if just because your thing isn't viewed that many times, does that necessarily mean that's the opinion of a lot of people? I mean, because if it's not circulated properly, like
True.
it could be
I
just
agree.
like your 30 friends watched it and they just decided or they praised it because they really dug it, or fed you a line of shit, or like.
True,
Just kinda
true.
like,
I mean, for me,
oh, I didn't watch it yet, homie. Like, I'm gonna get at it, man. Your tape's still sitting on my dresser, man.
We
I'm
need
gonna
view
listen to that. I'm
31.
gonna listen to
yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, for us, it's like we have a great group of friends,
And
we
I
had
don't know.
We had a screening party, and like people won't be honest to you to your face necessarily.
But they will
Right.
behind the veil of a computer.
Yeah, but if they're not watching it, they're not watching it for a reason, because they're not compelled by it.
And there's no way that if we were just putting this on a stage here that we'd be able to reach other people in other cities, which is a huge thing that we wanted to do, because we want other people to recognize New Orleans, A, for its incredible, outlandish community, and B, for its comedy.
But supposedly you want to have a successful television series, except on the web. I mean, you don't have to go through the whole TV bullshit
The
thing.
game's different now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
don't have
totally.
to wait for somebody to come and tell
But
you it's good.
it is really good, and the same goes for anyone. Like, if you're successful, if you're really talented and great, does it matter if you haven't sold 1 million records?
I mean, if you're just having a good time, what difference does it matter even if you're talented or not?
Well,
I mean,
as long
that-
as you're smiling.
that's the thing I was thinking about.
Fuck
What's
talent.
I think that you might be talented.
That's
or
what
just think that you might be happy and go with it, man.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What have you guys got a plan for world domination to sell millions of records of
Lay really, really low,
lay low?
and you can have
We're
control
waiting
over
for this
tons of
internet
things.
thing to blow
I
over.
just
For this fad to just finish its cycle.
I just joined like 8 bands and I figure one of them will pay me one day.
It's
Do you guys
it's a
get a lot
numbers
of?
game.
Do you guys get a lot of pressure, like being in the music game, of people being like, "What's your plan for fame? What's your plan for fame?"
Not anymore. I don't think
Being a
anyone.
musician in New Orleans is like a service industry job. You're not trying to be famous. Being a musician in New Orleans is like a service industry job, in that you don't make it by being famous. You make it like just one weekly gig at a time, kind of. Cool.
So you guys don't like, people don't try to put you in that box or try to put that pressure on you guys.
I mean, I don't really play a whole lot of pop music, so I guess no one expects me to really get famous from it and make a bunch of money. But I do every now and then get a check for like $20 from the internet, which is magic.
Nice. Nice.
What did you do to earn it?
I put some recordings on the internet, and sometimes people buy them. I don't know who buys them.
But you guys, a porcelain man just walked
Patrick
in
just
and
got
fell.
so mad at us.
Someone help
Someone
him.
made a gesture about his hair.
Hey, Michael, where are they buying them from? If we were listening to this and we wanted to say buy something of yours, or even listen to it with the thought of.
I don't know. There's like a company called CD Baby, and you can send them a CD, and then they put your music like all over the
Little
internet.
babies making CDs.
That's sick.
And
It's not actual babies.
I believe it is.
No, it's
yeah, no, there's
I
a
like
little
to think
mini
it is.
CD that came out of the hole in the middle of the regular size CD.
And it floats through
Yeah,
the
and then
wind to your
eventually it gets on the
doorstep.
internet and it grows bigger and bigger, and then like once a year they send you like $8. It's super cool.
Cool.
So CD Baby.
Well, yeah, I don't know
And
where.
what-
See, I don't think they only sell like real CDs, and nobody buys real CDs.
Oh, they don't do downloads there.
But they send your music to all, like, you can find it on iTunes or Spotify or all these places. I don't know. I'm not that internet savvy. But
Do you know the name of any of these acts that someone that listening to this could go and check it out? Say, what's the name of
oh,
the
you could definitely
White
find
Collar
you can find
Crime?
White Collar Crimes on there for sure.
Okay. And what about Blind Texas Marlin? Are you guys as a team on there?
No, we're not on there.
We have some stuff on SoundCloud that Patrick recorded.
Yes.
That was recorded at my homestead. And we have 2 albums that we recorded.
Yeah, one time someone paid us
I got
$80
one of them
for
with
one.
me that I'll give to somebody because that was my intention, but I didn't know
Yeah.
what the hell I was walking into.
I
didn't
know.
I should have brought multiple things.
No, that's okay. Someone
I got
paid
some dice and some trinkets that I could hand out to everyone else.
some actual dice that works.
I got some little dice, man. You got to,
Okay, we could have a quick game of craps if you like.
I got a bunch of change, man. We can play 4, 5, 6.
All right.
I love 4, 5, 6.
What is it?
It's just like
It's
counting.
It's like 1, 2, 3, except better.
yeah, just more advanced.
Hey,
I mean, when you get to the 10 thing, it's really complicated.
It's like what do we do now?
I almost got onto something really good here. Like, almost got you guys to admit you have 2 CDs,
huh? Oh,
we
yeah,
do,
so
yeah.
we definitely do.
and one somebody paid
One
you
is
$80.
called-
Bucks.
$80.
Is that right, Michael?
Oh,
Did you-
yeah, when we were in Bozeman, Montana. We were in
$80
yeah.
for one CD.
Because he was a bass player and really was happy that we had an upright bass player. Like our band is at times like it could be just me, or it could be 10 to 12 people at any time.
And are the CDs available as a download anywhere?
I don't
I-
believe so.
I
No.
don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm like,
No, you got to take your smartphones to one of their shows.
Yeah,
at
you gotta
Circle
just
Bar.
like actually come to the show.
And you gotta
You gotta actually go to a
buy,
show.
You can
Okay.
get whatever you want. We have all
and
the
bootleg it
CDs.
and send it to all your
Yeah.
friends for free.
You don't have to be that creepy guy sitting in the back of the movie theater. You can be that creepy guy right up front.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And you don't
You
have
could-
to wear pants or nothing.
You could
Sweet. That's how I go to shows.
you could steal it right off the show right now if you want to play something else.
Play another song.
What do you think? Are you up for
All
it?
right, sure.
Yeah, I'll play a song.
Okay.
Can this one feature the skillet?
The skillet's really not featured in any song because it's really obnoxious, and you kind of have to use
It's like
it
a-
in
it's like a
small doses,
punctuation.
you know?
I just
Got
want to
it.
hear what it sounds like. Could you just like hit it once so we can hear what it sounds like?
I mean, I played it. That last song we played is probably the song I play it the most.
Oh, battered wives everywhere.
Just
Cringing.
went into PTSD.
Maybe that butter soap.
You want to do some sort of slick introduction to this one, John?
Some introduction to this song.
Something slick. Yeah.
Slick.
Yeah, slick introduction.
Like unlike how I fumbled
Sexy.
up the other intro to
No, that was
song.
slick. That was slick enough.
Slick intro. I
Tell
don't
us
know.
something about your past that's brought you
About
here.
my past. There's nothing really about my past.
Okay.
I forgot most of it.
Your last failed relationship, then.
I never got into one.
John's
Okay.
friend this
I never got into one. Okay, that's got to be the best. You've never been in a relationship for real, ever.
I mean, that's not true. I
Only
just
with
don't
the
think any of
road.
them failed, you know. I get along with everyone pretty good.
Right, but I think by relationship you mean like a one-on-one, like
Right.
if it was Mississippi, your sister.
Maybe it's with.
I only got a little brother. And he's like taller than me, so I feel it'd be
I
awkward.
didn't know he was.
Doesn't bode well.
Same, bro.
So you could start with something. Here's a song I wrote.
This song is about being incredibly cruel to people.
Hey, this is one of my favorite Blind Taste songs.
Well, I gladly watched him get hit. And a sailor in a funny outfit came to fix it. With a sailboat that carried its own knives. But a credit card will never be a boat. You're not butter, you're just soap. Climbing underneath the walls, screaming, I'm out of salt. In Savantia at night, this funeral horse is your birthright. And this carriage will take me home in a gown or an oversized vest. And these waters will rise to your breast, so high into which you could cast a net. And they'll play while you dance and confess. to all the things they've already guessed. And when they know what you know what's next. No longer will you play those castanets. But a credit card will never be a boat. You're not butter, you're just soap. Climbing underneath the walls, screaming I'm out of salt. In Savantia at night, this funeral horse is your birthright.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Wow.
Did you punch that bucket?
I did.
With his fist.
Nice.
With
Was there
his
something
fist.
in your fist when you did that? Or
No,
did you?
like
Roll
except
quarters.
knuckles.
Everybody like grimaced and winced when they saw you do that. You actually smacked that bucket with your
Yeah, I
hand.
punched it pretty hard.
Wow.
I delivered like a nice.
Your
knuckle
nose
smack.
Oh.
is red.
I got nice smack to his
No, I
bitch.
did it first. No, it's
Okay, hang on a second while I remember this.
Okay.
Just hold on 1 second. A credit card will never be a boat.
Yeah.
You're not butter, you're just soap.
Climbing underneath the walls, screaming, I'm out of salt. In Savantia at night, this funeral horse will be your birthright. Is your birthright.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? You guys. What were you thinking at that point? What were you on, or?
Man, this is a good interview now.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to these questions.
I don't know. I don't think so much about stuff when I write music.
What
until
comes
after the fact?
Yeah.
It's like stuff I tell to myself.
So this is what's going on in your workings in your mind. You're
Yeah,
walking
and
around.
like whatever clicks. Like, you know, you can come up with a lot of words or whatever, but only certain things go right where they should be. You know,
Mhm.
like it feels right, whatever. I don't necessarily know. I don't think too much about it when I do it.
Is it stream of consciousness, or are you high?
I mean, normally,
Are those
but
two
like,
things mutually exclusive?
Well, not necessarily.
Oh man, you guys drugs? Oh man.
Oh, drugs.
it's there's just I don't know.
Do the words and music come together, or do you start with one or the other?
Oh, they all happen at the same time.
So you sit there with a guitar, and then you find yourself
Yeah.
singing and
Like
playing.
the words of that song have never been written down on paper ever once.
I wrote down one word, credit. So
Well, all
one of the
right.
one of the
You
words
got-
was written down.
Just wrote them down.
Man.
I have a question, man. Do you get, when people hear your music, do you get comparisons? Like, do people say stuff about your voice? It's all great, but I'm specifically about the voice.
I don't know. At
Are
times,
people like, oh, your voice reminds me of, I don't know, the tallest man?
the tallest man?
Yeah.
Who's he?
He's just an
Is he really
artist.
big?
Has anyone heard of him? The tallest man on earth?
Tallest man on earth.
No, you're the only one.
No.
Cool. Well, I just wondered.
That makes it really cool and indie. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys.
Did you
have
just
heard
make
of
that up? By the
No,
way, CJ,
no,
or
he's
is-
great. He's great. But that's the first thing I heard when I heard your voice, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he takes that as a compliment when you get comparisons, or if you're like, hey, man, my voice
I mean,
is my
if you
own.
think that dude sucks, then I feel that you just said something really bad.
No,
to me.
he's great. He's
But,
great.
Like, okay.
Well, I wonder if people
mean,
are
I
going
don't know.
around telling the tallest man he sounds like John Curry.
I know, maybe. But when you guys get
Wouldn't that be nice?
when you guys get compared to any other groups, do you feel like, all right? Are you like, hey, man, we're doing our own thing. Shut up.
It doesn't happen too much because with the full band, it's usually spoons, pedal steel, upright bass, melodica, and trombone.
What's a melodica?
We don't get compared to too
Oh,
many.
it's
Oh,
like a
cool.
harmonica with a hose and a keyboard
little
on it.
keyboard
Oh,
and
that's what
blow
I
into
want to
it.
play. That's cool.
And there's a
That's
full band
awesome.
at the Circle Bar on Sunday.
A good part of the times there is.
It's
member-
never the same people every time. There's always like a different.
There's a different
there's
melodica
like
player.
11
There's always a
12
different
people that
melodica
can
player.
show up, and it's usually like 5 out of that pool of people.
John Curry's almost always there.
It's very cool.
Okay. Guys, I think we've reached the end of happy hour here at that point, just about.
No.
What have I forgotten to mention? I hardly ever talked about New and Nola at all. Newandnola.com,
Check
which
out
is.
New and Nola.
Oh, it's so
Which
good.
well, you're not
It's
new
fun.
anymore, though. What are you going to do now? You're
Still
not new.
You're never from from? Like, if you're not
Well-
born here, you didn't go to high school here.
But
you're
now
not
you're
from here.
now you're really like, you know, you're on the inside. You're wearing the Times Picayune, and
I
you're
don't know, we're learning from
you're an
Sunken
insider.
City about how to be funny.
Oh,
Sunken
man.
City.
Sunken City. We can see that on oursunkencity.com.
Yeah, you can.
Is that
follow
what it's
us.
called? MySunkenCity.com.
Our sunken,
Our Sunken City
OurSunkenCity.com on the internet.
on the internet. www. Very very funny.
Thank
CJ
you.
Hunt,
And
Kyle Williams.
You can catch the rest of the season in fall, hopefully.
Okay, we'll look forward to doing that.
Yeah.
Carly Colath Wells.
Yes, sir.
As well as Michael Lentz, Patrick Crilly, and John Curry from Blind, Texas, Marlin. Thanks so much for joining me here
Thank you.
on Happy Hour. Our show is produced by Graham DePonte. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe. Dr. Cliff Brigden is our web designer and Link to the Real World, and Christian Unruh is our music director. Our intern is the fabulous Caroline Kaufman. Our theme was written and is being played currently by Mitch Foreman. The fabulous audio quality of this show is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. PreSonus makes some of the best audio recording and live sound products, including Studio One music production software, Studio Live digital mixing consoles, Era Studio monitors, and much more. You can visit PreSonus.com for more information about all that. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright like these guys for almost an hour with only 3 or 4 tequilas, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, where you can also check out many other Happy Hour shows, as well as our other shows, Out to Lunch with Peter Asciuti, Live from Commander's Palace, Mindset with psychiatrist Dr. Nick Pajic, True to the Game with, where is that, Chris True and Tammy Nelson. Excuse me.
They do that.
Vietnola is our show about the New Orleans Vietnamese community, and Midnight Menu Plus One features Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada. You can keep up with liking us on Facebook and Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well, which you guys, of course, don't need to waste your time doing. On all of it, we're It's New Orleans. If you're listening to the show on iTunes or Stitcher, thanks for subscribing. Take a moment to rate and review us. That helps other people find us. Recorded live today at Casa Borrega. For the last 60 minutes that we've been. You can come and join us anytime, or come down here by yourself. Come and have a meal, come and listen to some Latin music, or just get a drink at the bar. Happy Hour is a production of INO Broadcasting for It'sNewOrleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, who's currently somewhere in Europe playing the guitar, Mitch Foreman, who's playing the piano, everyone around here at Casa Borrega around the table and back at their INO office, thank you to everybody. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you next time on Happy Hour.
Let's be honest, there are tons of ways to send money back home, and every company promises me the same things: good rates and safe transfers. That's why it can be overwhelming to choose a new way to send money. I switched to Remitly because I can track my money every step of the way, which means I know exactly when my mom will get her money. And with their extensive payment network, my mom can receive her money in a way that is more convenient and safe for her. You should check it out. Go to Remitly.com or download their app to get started. Remitly Inc. is a licensed money transmitter by the state of New York, California, Massachusetts, and other states.